Hello birdies, this is part 2. I decided to cut the video in half because the first part was really long and I'm like, I don't think people want to watch 2-hour videos. We'll just like cut it in a few parts. Did the base yesterday, which was very not eventful, so basically the last video was just me lining these postcards for flight tier. And today what we're gonna do, I actually debated. I was like, will I draw on video or will I do it in like before, like set it up for the video? And so I decided I will do it on video. You can watch me struggle. And in between the last video and this recording, I finished doing the Pokemon postcards that are these are for July, and for my kofi Pokemon tiers, I accept requests for Pokemon. So we have Slowpoke and we have Vanillite, which is great because I've always wanted to draw a Vanillite, and you know, Slowpoke, classic, so cute. Anyways, let's set up. So the last video, what I discussed a bit was basically the gradient that goes onto the canvas for this piece, where we're doing warm to cold in the back, and then there's a little focus of warmth where Star Fox is. And in my mind, there's gonna be quite a few layers going into this piece, because it just gives it, I feel like ocean stuff requires a lot of depth, and I especially like playing with depth because it gives a lot more interest to the piece. And when I talk about depth, I'm talking about like a foreground, a midground, and a background. And then of course you can have a whole gradient of like front to back, right? But the basic would be the 3. Well, not even the 3, even just foreground and background, you'll create a overlap. So here the foreground, the foremost is Star Fox and the surfboard. And then the midground would be the waves. Oh, well, the water surface. I consider the water surface to be like midground-ish. And then the rest of like anything under the surface of the water is gonna be like background. So the mola and the fishes. Actually, for the yes, we're gonna do like Star Fox, ocean surface, these void fishes, and then the background. So we have at least 4 layers of coloring I'm gonna play with, and I don't have to do any work for Star Fox at the moment. It's gonna be like pretty easy, but what I'm gonna do is start laying the midground. And what's important for me in this particular piece is there's gonna be like surface water ripple. This is I love painting water and I love water as a subject, but I'm so bad at it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I usually do is, you guys don't be afraid to use references. References are your friends. And generally for my preferences, or like my preferred style of like rendering painting, is I like referring to like cell shading or anime. So I will Google like anime water ripple shadow whatever, ocean anime whatever, and then what I do is take those pictures and break them apart into what I think would work for me. And usually is going to be for water, and we're just talking about the water now, it's going to be a white space, negative space of like foam, action foam, and then the water, and then there's going to be shading underneath the foam, because the foam is like an action of the water that's like raised, so it will cast a shadow underneath. And of course that really depends, the shadow size is going to depend on how deep the water is or how high the waves are. There's a lot of like things to think about. But in this case, what I'm thinking is a semi-static, not too like current. The current is not too strong, and I think the surfboard is like just flowing in a steady pace, but like not too fast, like in this direction. So then I'm saying, I'm just like babbling about what I'm thinking about now. So please take this with a grain of salt. But like these are kind of like the thought process I go through to create movement in the pieces. I remember also when when I dabbled in storyboards, I also like think about like body movement. I just did like a big sway with my body. You can't see on camera, but basically think about the momentum of objects. So like should I go straight in with color pencil? I think I will. But I'll explain first. So because it's going this way, we're gonna have ripples kind of like spreading out into the back like this way. And because this area is going to be closer to the board, will be the busier parts of the water, so breakdowns will be very small, like water shaped ripples will be, I don't know water terms, sorry guys, will be very small and then spread out to larger size um break water current shapes. So I'm gonna do, and because this is going this way, there's gonna be like less of it. And then I think, sorry, you just have to, it's like I'm also figuring this out on my own. Doesn't always make sense. Yeah, basically I just start to draw and think of what water shapes look like. And you can always like go to the references and see how you feel about it. It's really useful to have references. Like some of these don't make sense, and it's okay. I'm probably gonna do some painting on this and I'll be like, I don't like how it looks. And then I'll probably like fix it later on. And that's okay. I feel like art is a lot of problem solving. Problem solving my poor choices. Okay. Okay. So you can kind of see like a movement of water this way, maybe. I'm gonna start laying the first layer of the water. So this is the very first like barrier of, well, surface of the water. I'm like, should I add some ripples here? I think for the sake of this piece, I will not. And even here, I might come back in later with gouache to make it cleaner too. Alrighty, so let's prepare the paint. I'm running low, which is alarming. I'm like, oh no, my paint. And let me get my other brush. I'm deciding if I'm gonna paint from bottom up. I think I will paint bottom up. And I will like continue with some pink here, but then start blue a little bit lower and then start moving this way. And I might even use a darker blue in this area. Okay. So I'm gonna put on music. I just wanted to like almost hear myself explain it and try to make sense out of it. But now I'm gonna put on music because we're gonna start painting. Just a sec. Alrighty. We're listening to Lady Gaga. I think I need to buy more paint. This is not enough. Okay. This is water. Have to be careful not to touch the blobs because it needs to stay crisp white. Oops, mistake. It's okay. Watercolor is super forgiving. So let me move on to the larger spaces and then work into this labyrinth. This is getting confusing. It's missing a shape here, so it's okay. It's almost easier if I didn't do the pencils, actually. Okay. Doesn't look great by my standards. But it's okay. This layer was pretty light, so I think I might do it again. Um, what I like about painting a lot and drawing is that like it's a lot of like problem solving, especially because I'm not a professional, clearly. Well, I semi-professional, I suppose, because I do it for work. But it's like learning to do this part's a little messy. I like this. I might add something here. So I'm gonna wait for it to dry and then take a look again. There's a little blue part here. Oh, water. But this is not bad. The gradient's pretty good, so we have a little bit of purple going on. Not sure if you can see on camera because it's also like light reflecting, but we have pink here, that's clear pink, a little bit of purpley blue pink, and then we're moving on to the blues here and then a little bit darker blue, and then I'm going to reinforce that later with like more of the layers. So let's let that dry. I love doing several pieces just because I can kind of like multitask. So, no, that doesn't fit. Okay, let's do 2 at a time. Don't be too greedy. This is the strawberry pieces. I'm gonna make it a little different and do like a greenish background. Why is there paint here? It'll contrast nicely with the strawberries. I also find that this green combined with the red ink gives it a interesting kind of vintagey feel. I also love doing these postcards because doing them like all at once together brings a lot of cohesiveness to these pieces, and it's like kind of like if all of these flight patrons, thank you, are all connected together through these little pieces. Am I thinking too much? Mm. Okay, almost there. It's already cute. Like, yay. Okay, put them somewhere safe to dry. It's not dry yet. Oops. So I'm looking at the shapes. I'm gonna, like I said earlier, I'm gonna have to add a ripple here. What we can do is actually work on Star Fox because they're still dry. I'm thinking about what color the surfboard will be as well. I'm gonna do Star Fox first. I love this orange in particular. It is Winsor Newton transparent orange, which was a special edition paint. I didn't know they make special edition paints. I love this color. And I'm like, are you gonna bring it back someday? Please bring it back someday. This is so good. It goes from like really dark umber to like a bright orange. And it's transparent. So it's just like gorgeous. Gorgeous to overlay. So I think the surfboard is gonna be green because I like the I really like orange green because of like citrus kind of color. But what I'm gonna do is also add yellow because if I make the board completely green, it's just like the surface area of the color is too similar to the fox. So let me do yellow first. This is also transparent yellow, which is also a great color. Let's go. So we'll do base yellow. Maybe we can do a green motif. I was like, oh, green stripes would be like pretty standards, but what if we do a motif? We'll see. Let me see if I could lift something here. That's better. And then we're gonna do a little cast shadow here under the fox when it dries. Okay, so it's not completely dry, but it's dry enough, I think. Just gonna do some contours here. Okay. Okay, so you saw me fix this area a little bit. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. What's going on? I think I made a mistake somewhere here. Okay. White. White. We'll see if it works. It I think it works. What I'm gonna do is one more pass of like pink to blue. I'm like, haha. All right. I hope. Well, I hope when people watch my videos, it's like, don't take art too seriously. That's yeah. Like, yeah, I do it for work, but if you guys are just like doing it for fun, don't take it too seriously. It's fine. I love just I mean, I'm doing this for work and on a video, but I also have art that like I enjoy doing for fun. And I think it's so important to like remember that. Like, why do you need to suffer? That's passe. Do it for fun. Be free. Your life is not on the line here. Mine is kind of, but because I need monies. But if you're not doing art for work, don't worry about it. Okay, darker. More, more. Another thing when I started watercoloring is that like I use colors so sparingly. I was like afraid to use dark colors or like vibrant colors. So it took me so many layers to make things look good or anywhere saturated enough. And please don't be precious with paint. They last so much. They last so long. If you're into fountain pens, same thing. Ink bottles will last you a lifetime. All right. Not bad. Not bad, huh? I saved it a bit. Okay. Here, there's like a solid line. That's better. Okay. I love the contrast already. And I love how this is popping out. I'm gonna work on Star Fox and then probably make a new clip because I need to dry this before I work on anything else. Or I could work on the postcards while it dries. I don't know if it'll dry in time. But let's work on Star Fox first. Okay, good. And then we need to do this little star. This is permanent deep yellow. And then we need to do the board. I'm gonna use a harder brush. This one is broken. I forgot. Da Vinci? But it's a synthetic brush. This one is some Warrior Series Niigata. I think it's some cheap brand, but it's a cheap natural fiber brush. So natural fiber brush, you'll find that it captures a lot more water and you can work with it much longer. It's very flexible. Versus synthetic brush is very stiff, but it's good for detailing because you won't accidentally like lose your footing on the paper. So I like using this for more like detailing. Ideally, I would have used it here, but I will use this to put shading into the water. Right, so what did we say we're doing? Star Fox? Got some really beautiful okay. I just did like random motifs that I feel is nice. And not to forget color. Okay, so mostly what's left for Star Fox is the shading at the bottom. And I'm gonna probably like play a little bit more with the green part. It's pretty much it for the foreground, basically Star Fox. And then right now, as I said, we're waiting for um, the water to dry. It's still wet. So what I'm gonna do is go blow dry it. And oh no, wait, I said we're gonna do this. Okay. All right, we're gonna work with the synthetic brush to get a bit more control. I almost wanted to do William Morris-esque kind of like background, but that genius, he's too skilled. I saw some of his works in Scotland, and wow, it's cool. It's really cool to see it in person. Um, and the patterning is so intricate, it would take so long to think about, for me, anyways, because it's like interlacing foreground, midground, and background, and I'm like, my brain cell's too small for that right now. One day I would like to. I would really like to design a pattern at that level. Actually, I tried when I did the collab with Ali Jules. But I feel like I just don't have that like type of mind to like weave a puzzle. I sometimes, oh, see, I'm missing a space here. Sometimes think about, listen to podcasts, and they sometimes feature like puzzle makers. They just think at a different level where they have to like consider how long it takes for someone to solve it, or um, levels of difficulty. Just go all in. Very interesting. But basically, they have to like anticipate user experience, and I'm like, what? The only thing I feel like I have to do as an artist, like, do people like the art? Yes or no? That's it. But they're like, oh, what if the users are like really smart or familiar with this particular kind of puzzle? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, looking good. Honestly, not too bad for paper I don't usually work with. I'm I have a really strong belief that the tool doesn't make the artist. So feel like I feel like one should master the tools first, or like master the craft, and then they can like adapt to anything basically. Alrighty, so this is the background's kind of done for the green, and then all we have to do is move on to, oh, we could do yellows right now. Basically yellows for the flowers, and then the red for the strawberries. I see a little green part that I missed. That's good. And we're good. Let's do yellow. And star. That's it. I like how this wing shape came out. It cuts through Kevat, and it kind of breaks the composition, but in a, I want to say playful way, but I don't even know what that means concretely. Like, I just like how it, I guess it's it's again depth, right? So the tail and this wing is kind of at the forefront, and then even here the flower is even more at the forefront. So there's a lot of like fun layers to it, despite how small this postcard is. It's coming together. It's so cute. I don't know if you see it. Wait. Okay. I'm really, really enjoying sticking to the foxes for this year's Patreon too. It's very cohesive. All right, let's check the water. Okay, it's still wet, so I'm gonna take a little break, grab a snacky, and come back to this after I dry it. I will see you guys soon. Okay, we're back from snacky. Foreground is mostly done. What I'm gonna do now is work on the midground, which is like the water part. Midground ish. So I'm gonna start by doing how's it called? Negative painting, which is basically creating shapes from painting outside of the subject. So we're gonna start by separating the fishes first, and then the first layer of stingrays and mola, and then another layer under. So it's gonna be very water heavy, like water usage heavy, plus dry time heavy. So what I'm gonna do is try to like paint and then back and forth drying the pieces. Yeah, and then after that I'm gonna focus more on the postcards. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I've looked at the piece a bit and I'm overall pretty satisfied. What I'm gonna do is go over with pencil crayon and add just a slight bit of shading to the sea creatures. Just a little. Very little. Almost not even. Like just a little contour. Like, none of these really make sense. It's just like how I feel. Doesn't always have to make sense. In fact, I feel like life often doesn't make sense. You ever like just have things happen to you and you're like, why? How? Yeah. Let me find a little pink color, like pink and purple. Yeah, life, answer me. Why? Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say. Okay, now everyone unsubscribe. Oh my goodness. Alright, pretty much done. I'm pretty happy with the overall look. The colors, I don't usually do well with like a gradient kind of thing, but it actually worked out pretty okay. I'm liking how it turned out. Just give some textures. This is my favorite color pencil color. And I'm like, I don't want to keep using it because what if it runs out? And I'm like, I'm always using it for work, but then it's like most of my art is work anyways. Like, can I just have like 5 of those? They're actually quite expensive. It was a gift from my brother when he went to visit Switzerland last time. I was like, oh, I cannot afford buying these on my own. Thank you. Okay. I think it looks good. I feel it's good. I'm like, oh, we should rip the tape then. Just a little here. Yeah, I like it. All right, let's get the, let's rip the tape. I like how I usually don't spill over, but this time it's really gone over. Okay. Look at it. Oops, I ripped some paper. Ooh, ah. This part. So good. Okay. We're done. I can't believe we're done. Here we go. That. There we go. July Patreon flight postcards, and then August Patreon card art. I honestly might do something here, but we'll see. But thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting. I really appreciate people who like watch and leave comments. I know it's like people don't leave comments anymore. When I started, like, internet's like everyone commented, but now it's like void of comments. But I really appreciate people who are watching and also supporting, and I look forward to creating more art for you next time. Bye. Okay, so I finished. I think I'm pretty much done with the colors. What's left is to do the whites. So I have Posca. This is the fine tip Posca, which thank you, Author Chen. I'm like, why didn't I know this existed? And then I have, actually, I also need my gel pen. I think it's in here. It is not in here. Ooh. I wanted to do the gel pen for like a fine detail. I think it's in my, huh? It's not here. Okay, hold on. Usually, is it in here? Oh, it's in here. I was like, oh, I keep it with my color pencils. So what I'm gonna do is use the Posca to help make the whites a bit whiter. I'm also gonna add bubbles. Just like, it's just, I like adding a little bit of speckles. And then this one I'm gonna use to outline just very finely Star Fox. That way it can just like pop out ever so slightly. Probably won't notice it too much on camera or in person actually, but it'll just like give a little bit of a pop. And then what I'll do after the whites is add some texture with the color pencils, which I really like lately. Yeah, you can barely tell, but it's good. It's good enough. sometimes it's a lot about feeling. Looking good. Okay. Bubbles. Oops. Okay. I think it looks pretty okay. So I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna sit on this for a bit, and then I'm probably gonna do some color pencil, like just to give it more texture, especially in these areas. Actually, thinking back, I should have done the whites after the pencils, but we'll see. There you go. You're ready. Almost done. Let that dry, or let it sit, because I need to like look at it later with fresh eyes. What we're gonna do is quickly color. These are gonna be pretty fast, I think. think like how your life would be if you were actually confident in things you did? Random thought. What would my life be if I was confident? I'm out of pink. I really need to get some more pink. I think I mentioned in the previous coloring video, maybe. So Talvi is white. They should be reflecting whatever color is like surrounding them. But the thing with Talvi is I really like just coloring them pink. It's like, so like I sometimes imagine like a cute little white fox with just that's like always somehow like slightly pink. Another random thought I just had was like, AI could never. Isn't it crazy what a world we live in? What a time. A time to be alive. I guess the video is getting long. I'm going a bit off the rails. Also, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but most of the foxes have 5 flowers. Most of them. Kessa doesn't. But it's because I really like working in odd numbers. And unless I feel compelled, I will usually do odd numbers. Kessa special. So very even numbers for Kessa. I don't know why. Okay. One more pass here. I want to make the wings a bit darker. And then I have to color all their collars. Kevat's is pink. A little bit pink here. Sixties is like a lavender purple. Oops. Kessa's is green. And Talvi's is blue. Still blue here. Okay. Halo. I'm gonna add a little bit of texture with color pencil later, but this is pretty much done. Oh, it looks cute like this. I'll do one more clip with everything with color pencil and textures. And this is pretty much it. We did it! Almost.